Hi, everyone. Dr. Frankie here, and I'm so excited to be here with you all today. It's been a busy, busy day. I was hoping to be able to record this video earlier, but it didn't happen. So here I am now, and it's still Wednesday, so we're good. It'll be out on time. And for those of you that are new to me, I'm a clinical psychologist, a board certified sex therapist, and I appreciate you tuning in to hear about what I have to say and share. I talk a lot about different topics related to dating, romance, sex, communication, boundary setting, attachment style, love languages, um, really anything related to relating interpersonally with each other, whether we're talking about romantic relationships or familial relationships. I'm just here to kind of help share what I've learned both in practice, working with clients face to face for many, many years, over 2 decades, and also what I've learned in the classroom. And a lot of my teachings and tools that I offer folks come from science-based research, empirically validated interventions, approaches, tools, and I share it all with you here. So if you're wanting to live healthier, happier, fuller lives through relationship, you've come to the right place. So if you want to get my videos, click the little bell below and select all for notifications so you can see when I put out new content. I also have a podcast called Love, Laughs, and Lessons, and we have different series. Right now we're in the Let's Talk About Sex series. So we have professionals on from all over the world talking about different topics related to sex. So, and then the last series we covered was our matchmaker series, where we had matchmakers from all over talking about their specialties and how they do what they do, kind of demystifying the idea or the process of working with a matchmaker. I think people kind of are just beginning to scratch the surface and understanding what that even means and what it looks like. So we had tons of professionals on. I think we had like 30 different matchmakers on who have different specialties. So anyway, let's jump into today's topic. I'm going to be talking about overcoming jealousy in romantic relationships. I'm sure many of us can relate to having feelings of jealousy, right? So this is an important topic. So let's just dive in. If there's an emotional experience more universal than heartbreak, it might be jealousy. Even when things in our relationship are going well or they're good enough, many of us are haunted by the fear that they might not stay that way. We're preoccupied with what might happen if we lose our partner, or by the insecurity that they want something more, maybe. Even when nothing untoward is actually happening, just jealousy may become a toxin in our relationship, causing problems where none previously actually existed. So, how do you overcome these feelings of jealousy to keep your relationship healthy? What does jealousy look like in relationships anyway? Jealousy, like all emotions, is a part of the normal emotional range. It's not bad or wrong to feel it, and there are plenty of times when it's the appropriate response. From time to time, though, our jealousy comes up in situations where it isn't warranted or even helpful for that matter, or begins to impact our relationship if it becomes part of a pattern. How can you tell if jealousy is becoming a problem in your relationship? And I'm going to share with you some signs to pay attention to and indicators that it could be an issue. Lack of trust, constantly questioning your partner's whereabouts or interactions with others, feeling uneasy when they spend time with friends or colleagues, because even family can feel uneasy when they spend time with family. Possessiveness, creating quote unquote rules about friendships or spending time alone, insisting on being involved in important aspects of a partner's life. Insecurity, feelings of inadequacy or undesirability compared to your partner's exes or other potential romantic interests, constantly seeking reassurance from your partner, especially around your attractiveness or quality as a partner. Monitoring, checking your partner's phone or social media accounts regularly, asking them to share their passwords, tracking their movements, like maybe you're needing to put them on 360 or find me or whatever that is. Can you tell? That's not something I do. Or keeping tabs on their interactions, Emotional outbursts, reacting with intense anger, sadness, or frustration when your partner talks about their past relationships or interacts with someone of the opposite sex. Mood swings, experiencing sudden shifts in mood from happiness to anger or sadness, triggered by thoughts of suspicion related to your partner's fidelity, even if they're based only on minor innocent developments, like a female friend liking an Instagram post. Physical symptoms, feeling physically ill, experiencing tension headaches, or having difficulty sleeping due to obsessive thoughts about your partner's faithfulness. Protest behavior is where you're either pulling away emotionally or physically from your partner out of fear of being hurt or rejected, or you're demanding extra attention through repeated phone calls, texts, or physical proximity when you feel insecure. Controlling behavior, attempting to make rules about what your partner can wear, who they can talk to, or where they can go in an attempt to prevent perceived threats to the relationship, or making them delete photos that they have from past relationships, or making them disconnect from connections that they had before you because you're feeling jealous. That's controlling in nature. So what's the root of your jealousy? We often use the term jealousy to mean a lot of different things. We could be talking about experiencing fear of abandonment, insecurity about one's sexual desirability, possessiveness about a partner's time or attention, a habit of comparing oneself to others. The list can go on and on. When you feel jealous, or when your partner feels you're being jealous, what's actually really going on? Like, what's beneath the surface there? Insecurity. These could be feelings of insecurity about your physical or sexual desirability, a reticence to believe that your partner is really attracted to you, or feeling that they'd rather be with someone else who's more attractive, or could be about your overall personhood. Perhaps low self-esteem, previous partners, your childhood home, or something else had led you to believe you're an unfit partner or a burden to people in your life. This may amount to a full-fledged fear of abandonment, where you feel that your partner is on the verge of leaving you at any time and they're only waiting to meet the right next person, and manifest as trying to keep your partner at all costs. Past trauma or toxic relationships. Sometimes we've had past relationship experiences that have made us hypervigilant. It's like really hyper aware, kind of paying attention to all the details. And it can be around cheating or our partner meeting someone else, either because there was a dynamic we grew up with as children or because of the behavior of our past partners. Even if you know you have no reason not to trust your current partner, it can be hard to let go of the impulse to protect yourself by monitoring perceived threats to the relationship or fact checking your partner to see if they're lying. Unfortunately, as understandable as it can still cause real damage in a healthy relationship. And remember, like, have some compassion and kindness for yourself if you find that you're relating to these things, because we're wired, right, to protect ourselves. We're wired for survival, and our very, very like lower brainstem is called the reptilian part of our brain, and it's very primitive and just wants to protect you. So it might be doing so and undermining, right, your healthy relationship. So just be aware of that. Attachment style. Sometimes what we call jealousy might be more accurately termed anxious attachment style, a way of approaching relationships that developed from our childhood experiences that leads us to worry excessively about our connection to our partner and feel we have to constantly earn or bargain for their affection. Having an anxious attachment style makes it very difficult to feel secure in a relationship, even if our partner isn't doing anything wrong, and may manifest as asking for constant reassurance, wanting to check your partner's phone or social media, or overthinking the relationships with friends or coworkers. Inconsistency or lack of communication. Sometimes jealousy isn't an issue of projection, trauma, or attachment. It's a reasonable, rational reaction to a genuine inconsistency, unreliability, or mixed messages in a relationship. If your partner is constantly saying one thing and actually doing another, unreliable when making plans or commitments, if their communication and consistency is dropping off radically, or if they're suddenly being much less communicative and transparent about their routines and schedules, it's not unreasonable to feel suspicious and even jealous. If there are concrete ways that they're deprioritizing their relationship with you relative to others, making plans several weeks out with a friend while they expect you to be around on short notice, or canceling plans with you to see other people, then it's not projecting to worry that they're being at least emotionally unfaithful. The difficulty is being really honest with yourself about when these things are actually happening and when you actually feel like they're happening. If you're in a consensually non-monogamous relationship, then some degree of jealousy is likely normal for everyone in a relationship. The goal when practicing ENM isn't necessarily to never feel jealous, but to learn to work with your jealousy constructively and in healthy ways. Ideally, when you or your partner feel jealous, you can communicate about it and have an honest conversation that helps to discern what your partner or partners can adjust to help you feel better. And where it might be your job to build some resilience and regulation skills around your jealousy within yourself. What are things both of you can do to help you feel more secure? Regardless of its source, it's imperative to communicate directly with your partner that you're feeling jealous. Like, there's no reason to have shame around feelings of jealousy because they're innate, they're natural. We all experience feelings of jealousy to varying degrees. Even if you don't think there's a basis for your jealousy, it's helpful to be honest about the fact that it's actually happening. Otherwise, it may materialize despite your best intentions as resentment or emotional outbursts, which is harder to undo, repair, and so on. When you do talk about it, it's possible to discuss ways that your partner could help you feel more secure without necessarily blaming them. Not all the things you might want them to do to make you feel more secure actually may not be helpful, right? For instance, while we often feel that we really want reassurance from our partners, this rarely helps in the long term. It often only makes us feel better for a few seconds, and then we want reassurance again. And we've affirmed in our brains that our security is dependent on our partner's reassurance. Similarly, solutions that involve controlling your partner, making rules about who they can spend time with, how they can dress, or that they must allow you access to their texts or emails, will hurt much more than they actually will help. There may, however, be a sustainable thing your partner can do to help. Maybe a good morning and good night text help you feel like your relationship is based on stable routines, or knowing who your partner is going out with when they go out with friends. If your partner is unwilling to make any concessions related to this, that may be a red flag, either of cheating or of not being a good fit for you. And you may want to look back at one of my earlier videos where I talk about red flags. At the same time, if you feel consistently jealous in ways that impact your relationship and you know there's no concrete reason to distrust your partner, it may mean that you have your own personal growth to do to access security within your relationship. Books like Polysecure or Hold Me Tight can help you address jealousy related to ENM or anxious attachment. Looking into polyvagal theory can help you build a felt sense of safety in the relationship overall. And of course, a therapist is the most important resource toward moving toward safety and security in a relationship and toward mental and emotional wellness overall. I also did a video previously on polyvagal theory, so check that out. And I want to recommend a book called Overcoming Jealousy in Romantic Relationships. So there is actually, that's the topic of today's talk, but there are 3 books that I want to suggest: Overcoming Jealousy and Possessiveness. The second one is Anxiously Attached, Becoming More Secure in Life and Love. And The Jealousy Cure, Learn to Trust, Overcome Possessiveness, and Save Your Relationship. The details about these resources are in the notes for today's talk, so you can get those links there. And thank you all so much for tuning in today. If you have any comments, any takeaways from today, please post them below. If there's somebody you feel would really benefit from today's topic, then please share it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I want to encourage you to do so. It just reminds me that you're all out there and that you're benefiting from my time with you. So thanks so much for those who have done so. Big hugs, kisses. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I will see you all here next week. Bye, folks.